Have you ever thought that speaking and business are two separate things? Well, I'm here to tell you that they're not, and that you can utilize speaking to grow your business. I'm here with Christine Lang, President and Principal Advisor with Lang Financial Consulting. And here on the Mainstage, we're gonna talk about how do you actually grow your business through speaking. Let's get into it. Get ready to shine on the Mainstage, where brilliance in business meets the art of speaking excellence. I'm Meagan Fettes, your guide on this thrilling experience as we decode the power of influential speaking strategies and personal transformation, illuminating the path towards achieving your full potential as a speaker. Welcome to the Mainstage. I'm Meagan Fettes. And if you haven't had the opportunity to watch our last episode, you definitely want to check it out because we shared some really great awkward moments as speakers. So I think it's important that every speaker understands, even if you're thinking about speaking or you're a professional speaker, that it's okay to have those awkward moments. We're back with Christine Lang, President and Principal Advisor with Lang Financial Consulting. And I'm really excited about our last topic here, which is how to use speaking to grow your business. So I would love to learn from you because I know that you structured a lot of things around speaking to utilize to grow your business. Mm-hmm. So tell me, what was the biggest fundamental change that you created in your business to utilize speaking to help grow?
Well, I started doing it.
Yeah.
Really. You know, I've been flirting with this for a very long time. I've been flirting with being more structured or figuring out how to be a better speaker for a very long time. And because what I was seeing on social media, not so much with my contemporaries and colleagues, because public speaking and speaking as a financial advisor doesn't happen that often. But what I was seeing in social media was how powerful speaking can be to growing your business. And I'm on a growth trajectory. I'm morphing in my business. I've added this coaching piece, which is really what I want to focus on. And the only way that I could see, because I'm not great with social media, I'm not great with posts, I'm not great with the videos. I thought, how in the world am I going to do this? And the only way that I could see moving forward was getting on the stage in front of as many people as possible, as often as possible, to get the message out.
Yes. And I love that because, you know, time is our most valuable resource. I will say that time and time again. Like, what is it that you can do to save your time that will still leverage and create growth in your business? And it really is, how do you connect to many people all at once and share your message so that you can actually have that space for growth?
Absolutely. Yep. So that's what I'm doing. And that's what I've been doing.
Nice. And what's really cool about this is, and I'm just going to kind of shine a little bit of a light on something that you've got coming up here, is you've also utilized this opportunity to write a book.
Indeed.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit more about that. And what I'd love to hear is, how did the two kind of go hand in hand for you?
Yeah, so initially they didn't. I, again, have been flirting with writing a book for a very long time because, again, what I do and how I do it is so different than everybody else in my industry. So in January, I got serious and I started writing. And I just really wrote down my process and how it all works. And then I think it was in April, you and I started working together. And then I've had this whole new process on how to put together my talk. And so really what I wanted to do was to take my talk and put it in my book. And then just expand on that, which now ultimately is exactly what I've done. But I was able to take those pieces, and because of the structure that I learned through your program, I really applied that same sort of structure to my book. It also helped me I noticed through the first edits that I was a little technical, and so I apologize in advance, but we were able to take that technical piece out.
Cool.
To use language. There's only one math problem in the whole book, just one. And one workbook, that's it, and it's downloadable.
Nice.
But I was able to take that structure and apply it to my book and actually expand on the content.
Love that.
Because one of the things that always sort of held me back from speaking is I thought, I don't know, what am I going to say? I don't have anything to say. But the truth is I have a lot to share. It's just because I'm so familiar with it that to me it seems like everybody, well, does everybody knows this, right? Like wouldn't be impactful. And through your program, I realized, no, I actually there's a lot to say and a lot to share. So now the two are morphed together in my new book, which is very exciting. Oh, and scary at the same time.
I love that. I love that. And what I keep hearing as well from you is like that clarity, right? Like that
Absolutely.
crystal clarity of like, this is how I want it to go. This is how I want it to flow. And knowing what your audience needs to hear and when they need to hear it.
That's right.
To create that impact.
Absolutely. Yep. And I've used that process through my book as well.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say has been that biggest shift for you then? Like, so in learning the speaking and the structure and then creating your book, what has been that biggest shift for you in your business?
Well, I'm more willing to put myself out there.
Ooh, nice.
And I'm willing to put my hand up now to be in virtual summits, to be in-person summits, putting my name in the hat to be a speaker or a keynote speaker at events. And as a result, I've created 3 speaking events for September and 2 for October, and it looks like there might be one in November as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
really
amazing.
exciting. It's really exciting.
Yes. And notice how it begins to kind of create that focus too, right? Like in business, as entrepreneurs, we have so many things on our list of things to do, right? Like, oh, we've got social media, we've got email marketing, we've got all these things that we can do. And it's almost like at the beginning, throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping that something will actually move the needle. But with this, it's like, okay, here's my focus.
That's right.
This is the avenue that I'm going to utilize. And it doesn't mean that you can't utilize the other avenues, but it gives you a greater focus on how to use this.
Absolutely. And if you're like me, and I love when you could say you've got a goldfish brain, I've got one of those too, a goldfish memory. And I get easily distracted. And if there's something pretty and sparkly over here, it's like, oh, maybe I'll try that, and maybe I'll try that. And I feel like now I am very focused, and I feel like I am in my lane. And yes, there are all of these other sparkly things, but I look at them differently now. And rather than saying, like you said, throwing the spaghetti against the wall to see if it's going to stick, it's like, okay, so I am an accountant, so return on investment is important to me, and I use that as one of my benchmarks. So, for example, I had an opportunity to be part of the Top 100 magazine out of New York this year, and I turned it down.
Nice.
Because it's not where I want my focus this year. Maybe next year, I'll reapply and I'll be accepted. But for this year, even though I was accepted, I decided that it wasn't where I was going to get the biggest bang for my buck. Getting up in front of people is where that return on investment is for me.
And that's so key. And I love that you made mention of that, right? Because again, it's so easy. There's so many distractions. There's so many different opportunities out there for us. And really when we begin to hone in and say, okay, this is what I know to be the right avenue for myself, then all of a sudden, you know your yes and you know your no's.
Yes. Absolutely. And those are just as important.
They are. They are. I mean, I know for myself, even at the beginning of my business, it was like, I'll say yes to everything.
Right.
And then I burnt out.
Yes.
I actually completely had to step away from everything that I was doing and do nothing for a solid year. And that was very, very hard. And it's funny, it's like, I'm going through my own health stuff right now, but it's different because now I can be like, okay, what is my yes? What is my no? And really begin to get clear on, okay, this is what I'm letting go of. This is what I'm holding on to because I have that primary focus and speaking is that main pipeline for it.
Yes, I agree. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's cool. So what would you say is the number one piece of advice that you want to share with people?
Well, I would say at this point, whether you're an experienced speaker or just starting out, just do it. Just jump in both feet. You're not going to regret it. What I have learned, the structure that I've created, the pieces of information and guidance that you've provided, it's gold. And it is absolutely sending me on the next trajectory in my business.
That makes me so happy.
So thank you. I am so grateful for you.
I'm grateful for you. And I love that. I know I often say this, but I love to celebrate successes. And I will always celebrate with you. So
Great. Well, let's giddy on up. Let's do it.
yes, hell yes, let's do it.
Hell yes.
Oh, and that is so great because, I think sometimes we believe that if we're just starting out, that we should have more skills to be able to master in order to get to that spot. Or as we're more like practiced or advanced speakers, that maybe we should be further ahead and asking for help isn't the best choice. But it doesn't matter where you are. And I know I've told you this, but being a great speaker doesn't create results. It's having the structure and the system in place to know what to say and how to say it that will create those consistent results for you.
And your program does exactly that. And it has delivered everything that you've promised.
Oh, yay. That's what it's all about, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Christine, so much for your time and for sharing your wisdom and for being you. I truly appreciate everything about you.
Thank you for inviting me to be here with you today. It's been a pleasure, and I'm always delighted to spend time with you, Meagan.
Likewise. So before we close out, I want you to share with people how they can get in touch with you, because if you haven't realized already, Christine is someone that you need to know. She will change your life. So how can they get in touch with you?
Yeah, so the easiest way to get a hold of me is through my website, and that's liveabiglife.ca. And that's intentional because I want you to live your big life. On there, you'll find a whole bunch of content. You'll find my blog and a way to book a meeting. And I hope you enjoy your time while you're on my website.
Thank you so much again.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you, Meagan.
And stay tuned for upcoming episodes with upcoming guests. Can't wait to see you. It's time to wrap up our session of the Mainstage. I'm Meagan Fettes, reminding you to stay committed to your growth and development. Let the insights gained here fuel your drive for success on the stage. Here's to your success, impacting millions and monetizing your message from the stage.